What is up, you guys? Good morning and welcome to another vlog. Today we are going to be driving two Honda Civics, and these are both 2019, so we get to compare the Honda Civic LX and the Honda Civic Touring and kind of like see whether is it actually worth it to pay a lot more to get the Touring than the base model LX. So without further ado, let's go. Alright, so first let's talk about the 2019 Honda Civic LX, and man, this car actually looks good now that it have all the exterior add-ons like the front lip, and at the same time it comes with side skirt and rear diffuser. There are some rain guards and aftermarket wing as well on this car. But let's talk about the power of this car. This Honda Civic LX is actually pushing 158 horsepower and 138 pound-feet of torque, coming all the way from that 2-liter engine matched with an automatic CVT transmission. So without further ado, let's go for a drive, shall we? Put this on gear, remove park, and let's see how good the 2019 Honda Civic LX. One of the most noticeable parts, I think, when driving this car is the comfort. Like, the seats are absolutely comfortable, there is no doubt about it, and I wish that the steering wheel actually have a little bit more weight to it, just because it does not give you a lot of feedback when it comes to like knowing where your wheels are and just like feeling the road. But other than that though, it is very comfortable in this cabin. Alright, let's try some turns here. Turning is actually not too bad. Was guessing, or I was assuming that I would have so much understeer when it comes to turning, but that seemed to be fine. Let's try and find a place where we can sort of pick up some speed and show you, like right now, like what I've been noticing as well when it comes to the driving is that there's a little bit of lag on the pedal, but it is not too bad. We're gonna try that later on sport mode and see whether it's gonna change just that lag on the throttle when you are trying to get to speed. Another cool thing I think is just how smooth the CVT transmission is. Like, you don't even feel any jitters or anything. It just continuously changes its gears too, which is kind of cool. And I'm really excited to try that on the touring version, because it's definitely going to be a little bit different of a feel having that paddle shifters. Alright, well, let's put this on sport mode and see the difference. Man, this car is loud. But yeah, the sport mode actually is a game changer on this car. It's a little bit more responsive compared to the regular drive mode. This car is loud. But yeah, if you want to drive your Honda Civic LX, please do drive it on sport mode, because it's such a game changer on this car. It's a lot more responsive. Like, even the steering has actually got a little bit more weight to it, and wow, just wow. Like, huge difference. See, like, huge difference when it comes to driving this car on like a regular drive. I felt like I had so much complaints earlier when driving this on like just like a drive mode, but now that it's on sport mode, man, please do use your car in sport mode every time. It's just so cool. Alright, well, that 2019 Honda Civic LX is actually pretty decent, but now let's talk about the Honda Civic 2019 Touring and kind of like see whether this is actually a lot better. So let's talk about the power of this one. This is actually pushing 174 horsepower and 158 pound-feet of torque, which is quite a lot more than the Honda Civic LX, but man, I wonder what it actually, like, I wonder how much different it actually is when we start driving this thing. But oops, I just dropped the key. But the cool thing about this Honda Civic Touring is that it actually comes with 1.5 liter turbo engine, and it actually is matched with automatic CVT transmission as well, but it comes with paddle shifters, which is a lot better when it comes to driving. No, it's not a manual, which is, yes, save the manuals, but man, this is actually a lot better, I think, in my opinion, just having that little bit of a control when you are driving on sort of like a manual mode of this car. So without further ado, let's try this one and see how good this car is. One of the coolest thing on a Honda Civic Touring is that you actually get a remote start, which is you just press the lock button and then you press this thing on like 3 to 5 seconds. Bro, that is kind of cool. Yeah, especially here in Canada where like winters could be harsh sometimes. So let's get in, let's go for a drive. Alright, seatbelt on. And let's go for a drive, shall we? Man, immediately, like, I'm just getting off the lot and I can already feel the difference on like the steering wheel, and with these paddle shifters too. We'll try that later, but it's got a lot more weight in the steering wheel. It also feels a little bit more cozy in here. I thought the LX version is already comfortable, but these seats are, man, this is a really nice seat to be in, and I don't know whether they actually have different seats or not, but it just feels a lot more comfortable here. It comes with all the safety features like the lane keeping assist, cruise control, and when you actually turn on your turn signal on the right, you guys can see that this screen actually shows the camera, which is very handy when it comes to checking your blind spot. Another thing that is very noticeable is just how responsive the pedal is compared to the LX version. Like, this car actually goes immediately, and that is a very important thing when it comes to just like having like a good feels on your driving. Alright, let's put this in sport mode and just kind of like feel the difference. Yep, that is very noticeable. That's crazy. Wow, that is so cool. It also have that, like the same feels earlier with the LX version, where on sport mode it does give you heavier steering feels, and that's pretty cool. I really like that. I really like that. It's instant, and at the same time there's pretty much no lag when it comes to stepping on the throttle and getting up to speed. Like, wow, that's so cool. I like that. It's not like a break a neck kind of, like a neck snapping speed when it's catching up to speed, but it gets up to speed really quick too. So man, I can just imagine what the Type R would feel when you're driving that one. Alright, let's try the paddle shifters. I am in 4th gear right now. Alright, so even the manual sport actually is very responsive. It will automatically lower the gears for you, but you could also go down gears if you feel like doing it manually. Man, this car pulls if it wants to. Like, you just step on that pedal and it will actually give you so much feedback, which is pretty cool. When it comes to features, this Honda Civic Touring 2 have a lot more to offer, like the wireless charging, for example. It's got moonroof or sunroof, and it does feel a lot more luxurious in here compared to the LX, which is fair because given the fact that LX, I think, is their base model, while this Touring is actually next to the Civic Sport hatch. So absolutely, this is such a very good place to be in. Man, what an absolutely amazing experience to driving both of these cars, and it is mind-blowing to me on how much different these two cars are, even though they do actually look very similar. And if you have to choose, or if I have to choose between this two, is it worth it to actually pay extra $6,000 to $8,000 to getting the Touring version over the LX version? And I think honestly it is worth it, just because you get so much features out of it, and at the same time just how responsive the throttle is compared to the LX. That is a big plus for me. Plus on top of that, you get the wireless charging, you get power seats, you get the moonroof as well. So man, it is absolutely amazing. So without further ado, if you enjoyed this clip as much as I did filming it, please do hit the subscribe button, because I'm still giving away 500 Canadian dollars to one lucky subscriber once we hit 1,000 subs. And on that note, please stay safe, take care, and make the most out of your day. Peace!